Charlie, guys, you're most welcome to Sportok, and this is our side of the story when it comes to sports, and this has been always our montage. So from today going, just get to know that this is our montage. Derek, good evening. It's evening here. I don't know the time over there in the United States of America.
Area kete
What
kete
is your
kete
time?
kete. Area.
Anyways, you'll be telling me about the weather. Beka weather ni kakra kyerɛ because report that we are picking from the camp of the Black Stars that the weather is hot. The English are complaining. Some of the teams, the European teams, are also complaining. Croatia, they are also complaining because they are all in the group of Ghana. That is in group L, the same group with Ghana, and they are all complaining about the weather. I understand them. They are Europeans. So what is the weather over there?
It's very hot, Philip. It's very hot. Now,
Mm.
let me just chip in this. On your hurricane and all and now pampa that the weather is not a factor, the heat is not a factor. After the Olusu.
He said they are professionals. Also, we're professionals. They will deal with it. But after the first friendly match over there, he's already complaining.
Exactly. And
Charlie.
technically, or let me say, using the astrologies, their lens or their calendar, summer has not even officially
Okay.
started. It starts on 20th
Whoa.
June. So we are now actually heating up.
Whoa.
Just like Kofi
Whoa.
Kinata said,
Warm up.
we are warming
This
up.
is warm up.
Yeah. So by the time we meet them there, like the weather will be crazy. And that's why exactly. And that's why FIFA is introducing the water breaks in the match,
Okay.
one in the first half,
Yeah.
one in the second half, because the heat is going to be crazy. And I think from a sporting point of view, we the countries that are coming from the tropics, the African countries, the Caribbeans, we can take advantage of these conditions because this is our terrain.
Exactly.
Like we are more adjusted
It
to
is
this
so
kind of
us.
weather.
It is so us. The weather is so us. It's so
Exactly.
us.
This is
We
us.
know the weather already. Yeah. And I think that we will flourish in that one. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is our official welcome to you on Sport Talk. Now, Derek, this is what you're going to do for me today. All the messages that will be trickling in, you do justice to it because we cannot let our fans down.
For sure.
Very soon we'll be introducing predict and win on our program. So anytime you predict as a fan who is watching us, will be, tabling everything. That will be recording all of them. Whoever that gets it right, will have a surprise for you. We are just putting down some deal. When that deal is sorted out, there's a surprise on Sport Talk for all of our audience out there. But let us hit the ground running because we need to do this in the next 40 minutes. And already I received a message, a personal message, and somebody is telling me that, Charlie, we are right on point because we promised 7:30 and we are right on point. Anyway, Ken, thank you very much. I've mentioned your name. You didn't want me to mention it, but I've mentioned your name. Thank you very much. But then, Derek, in the next 24 hours, if not more, the World Cup is about to kickstart. How is the feeling in the United States of America? And how are you also feeling? Tell me.
So let me give you the outlook from the whole of US, right? And to be honest and to be frank, the fever and then the vibe is not up there. If you look at what is going on social media and everything, all the vibe and everything is actually from outside of the US. But over here in the US, it is a bit low. I'm thinking that when the ball gets kicked, then the fever and the vibe and the hype will start going. I was monitoring local news, local media, and for up until even yesterday, I've not seen a specific ad about the World Cup, and there's no special features on news items when it comes to sport and then all that. So in terms of the vibe, and the reason is that you can't blame them. America is not known for football; they call it soccer.
Yeah.
So currently, soccer is like the number three well-known sport over here in the country.
Okay.
And just yesterday, there was also the NBA final. You know, the NBA finals is also going.
Yeah.
So the Spurs versus Knicks is
Next,
ongoing. Exactly. And that is even
So
getting more hype. The
is
attention
there.
is played exactly. So you can't have it.
I get
So
it.
until we actually start the World Cup itself, it is the vibe is a bit low. But I can promise you that it is building up when the fans actually start coming in. I know there are issues with traveling fans and then all that. We get that. We get
The
into that
visa
maybe
acquisition and all
later.
that.
Yeah, but once they
Sure.
start coming and then you see foreigners around, that's where you see that people will now warm up to it. So I think it is building up slowly. But
Okay.
interestingly, there's the Spanish part of the US, because we are closer to
The
Mexico,
Hispanics.
exactly. But
Okay.
when I monitor the news from those sides, they are really much very hyped up for the World Cup. Yeah, the Mexicans. So right now, I've been watching Spanish TV because I want to get into the vibe. I want to catch the vibe, right? So
I know. I
I'm
understand.
learning Spanish and yeah. So hola, ¿cómo
Yeah.
estás? Etasa, ¿cómo
Yeah.
estás?
Como esta? I beg. Felicia.
We go see how. Yeah. So
Felicia.
so that's that's the vibe.
Anyways.
That's the vibe. But
Anyways.
yeah, it will
All
pick up.
right.
It will pick up.
So all right. So Derek is telling us about the euphoria in United States of America. He's already there and giving us the vibe. How things are trickling in the country. The euphoria is a bit low because of one or two reasons. But I know that as he rightly said, when the fans get in their groove, Charlie will feel the World Cup. But Charlie, yɛn from kakra
You're from
na
Tufomeu.
yɛn from Tufum
Okay,
kakra.
okay,
Yɛn
okay.
from yɛn tardy boys and also when you're feeling kakra. But like I said, 24 hours to come.
Yeah.
The World Cup over starts. I want to ask you this. Funny question.
Uh-huh.
We grew up together one way or the other.
Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
Which World Cup was the first you remember you watched? The first World Cup I with you there, actually a K-pa, and it was some kind of imprint in your memory. Tell me about it. Can we be sure?
Philip, me share me memories na. I think World Cup, make there. Like I still have visuals of it. Like some of the matches is the
Okay.
France '98 World Cup. Even though
France
'94,
19.
no,
Okay.
I was young, maybe around 5, 6, right? But
Yeah.
I don't remember anything about it. I think my dad told me anytime he was watching, I was also watching, but I don't mean memory be but 98 in the
I understand. France 98.
France 98.
The likes of Zinedine Zidane,
Zidane,
and Ronaldo.
Exactly.
Charlie.
In Maria, them time no one, ni color TV.
Yeah.
Them time.
And you come for that.
Make
No
the fans no.
Team you know say it's a couple and go for him. People can connect with this.
In the now, I'm out for be a smart TV na. Those times ni color TV. Inti
na yafun tokro na go match.
Messi. Them time inti among some if you no color TV, na black and white. But some matches you want them feel part of Charlie match with them send color that. Or them come in another side war or quick ma is ka them side one. It's me come in another one. Some a next door neighbor no color TV. It's na yako peto. Yeah, echo I bet na phone. No time I will start. It's echo a net na phone. But again, it's Wasako long time. Now, I am nurse. Now, I remember those time Denmark gained a lot of followers. So if Ebeka no player, you know, friend Eba Sand, SAND.
Yes.
Now those times,
remember.
I think the quarterfinal they met Brazil. It was an epic match, one of the epic matches in the World Cup. Either quarterfinal or round of 16, and it was a 3-2. Brazil won 3-2 eventually. San scored a goal or the two goals. Now me kept part there. those times, you know, so it's the ball now. Nah, boys now was winning. One man fans now was yeah. Like I remember that vividly.
Oh,
So
man.
98,
Memories of the World Cup, eh? On you.
Yeah, 98 and I'm Mekai Power there. I started that would be my first World Cup. And after that it was the 2002 Korea Japan Ono Neo GSS. And based on the time zone,
I connect with that one too. Very good, yes.
It's that time, you know.
Parade. You're going to parade.
Hey, Korea Japan. Messi.
Echo should be any bro.
Korea Japan now. The true Boko boys. True Boko boys.
Back then at better, Charlie. Now, Charlie, not some electrician you were. It's you. Baby, my minute on yeah. Hi. What are you born? Charlie.
That was
me care because of the exploit of Senegal.
Yeah,
as at that time,
yeah,
you know,
that first game
brilliant plays.
France.
I mean, the Fadigues, the Silvers,
Diop.
And Diop, Elaji Diop, the Camares.
Yeah,
Charlie. So I love Senegal for that tournament. And Charlie, up until now, I knew that World Cup was that World Cup. It lived with me.
Exactly.
On because of whatever we had. And for me, I think that I would never forget that World Cup. It was an let me say one way or the other. Should I use the word an adventure? Because from school you have to skip school.
Yeah.
Able who gates, able who watch, I able sneak in.
Yeah.
Everybody want to slash you because I had late and all that. So it was an adventure for me.
Yeah.
As a young guy growing up, and you get challenge me per ball. I am a dental and me ball. I love football.
Exactly.
But Charlie, so that World Cup is one World Cup I would never forget. And I think Denmark was Denmark in that World Cup too. I remember the Thompsons, the Thomasons, and they used to have
one day,
yes, and even Turkey. They also had Rustu.
Yeah.
Rustu, some goalkeeper. We can even go to Kaji. That goalkeeper was very stubborn.
Yeah.
And I really remember that World Cup. I don't know about you. If you still remember that 2002
World Cup. I remember. And that's why France versus Senegal, this World Cup is going to be an epic because it's just going to be a repeat of that. Ever since they've not met again, and anytime they meet, it's a serious match, right? And that World Cup is when we saw the first Asian team go into the semi-final in South Korea. And after that, we've not seen the Asians.
That time they had Gusenik. Gusenik was the coach. I remember.
Exactly, because they were co-hosts. Everybody was expecting Japan to get to that to get to that point, but it was rather the South Koreans who were able to do that. So they were the surprising aspects of that World Cup. Together with Turkey, they also played. I think they played fourth. And then, of course, we know the exploit of Ronaldo in that World Cup with that haircut.
The
haircut,
Charlie.
Yes.
It became a fashion. You think the best stop on Capra.
Exactly.
You think the best stop on Capra with that haircut.
Yes. And so that was it. That 2 goals against Oliver Kahn in the final against Germany. It was epic because Germany had been unsung. First match, that World Cup, first match against Saudi Arabia, 8-0.
Yeah. 18, yes. Now, German, or is yours?
Them time now
that German team
close. I think one pop
close. Yes.
Headers in
a young child.
So that was it. And then we moved to the 2006 World Cup on the Neo GSTS.
Yes, I remember that we were GSTS back then, Charlie.
Now,
you question. Teacher need you. I'm sure Safaman need you.
Now, Safaman, it's how did they privilege? Ain't any privilege, you know. I don't know privilege, you know.
But then you one-on-one classes with me.
That's what I said. I study some.
Now, also, Philip, we don't have class. Them so say we have a class. I don't understand this question. Now, I
was so inside, you know. No, boys, you know, it's not civility.
Which is civility.
Nah, in my.
But I remember. Black Stars match, no, you were finally hall.
I don't know.
Our big hall,
assembly hall. So
Assembly Hall. Yeah, the Black Stars match.
So
Yeah.
the thing is that Black Stars match there, no way mobia.
Yeah.
But you know, play football,
exactly.
no. I am Black Stars because I play so. Yes, we didn't.
Beji for
Yeah, play so didn't. Enti
I
ono no
remember.
ekwa kujire ntokro nature. Ntokro no so osro.
Yeah.
Nti eda fa boba.
Yeah.
Efa boba.
Yes.
Na di kosi. Now, me care pa there. Some of the matches in the know around prep time. You know.
Yes.
Say esa onkasio sakwama na moto. Wankaswe ehwe da ma prep time is 7 o'clock. What boy 7 I want the Louvers in what to cool. Not to the extra glass.
Go for friends.
Go for friends.
Charlie, that was interesting. Interesting memories down there.
But on that World Cup, you know, what resonates for me is that for the first time, Ghana, we're not watching it as outsiders. We're watching it as participants because our team was part of it. So that feeling was different across the country, across every corner. The Jan's first goal, 68 seconds against Czech Republic, that was historical. Like it was so much. It was the euphoria and then the buzz around town was epic, right? And then we eventually was able to get out of the group and then all that. It was an interesting World Cup. And then we go to 2010. 2010 is when it came to Africa for the first time. So just because of that, it was something historic for all African teams. And then we're looking at for who was going to go past the quarterfinal because Cameroon had done it already, right? Senegal had also done it already. And then Ghana was able to get there, and then Suarez happened.
I understand. So
so like if you look at the World Cup, everything is good. So I think that this World Cup is eventually going to catch up, and we are going to have similar memories like what we've had in the past.
Exactly. So, I mean, our audience out there, if you are watching us, we are just asking a simple question. Which was your first World Cup that you watched? Yes, you can just send us your messages and we'll be reading all of them for you. Trust us that we'll be doing all of that on Sportok. The time is 7:49 p.m. here in Ghana. But then, Neo has already described how he got to watch his World Cup throughout the period from 1998, 2002, 2006, coming to 2010, all of that. But then, let us zoom into this particular World Cup.
Yeah.
And Neo, I don't know, which players are you looking out for in this particular World Cup? Personally, I'm really looking at three players. Mbappe to shine because of his exploit in the last edition. It looks as if for Mbappe, the World Cup was simply designed for him. Anytime he does the French national team jersey, he's a different player altogether. I'm not saying that he's a bad player. I mean, in his club side, we saw him back then when he was at PSG. He was phenomenal. I mean, he went to Real Madrid. He's been scoring goals, but then he hasn't been that player that we used to know back then with PSG. But I know that Jose Mourinho will try to get magic out of him. But then Mbappe is one player that I'm looking out for. Possibly, I'm also looking out for a player like Lamine Yamal because of his exploit this season, and even last season we saw him even against Inter Milan en route to the Champions League semi-finals. We saw his exploit, and even this season helping Barcelona win the La Liga. I think that he's really done marvelously well. He's an influential player, a player that for me, I think that he carries the Spanish national team one way or the other, and he's the player to watch in this particular World Cup. But then the last two players I will look at is Michael Olise of Bayern Munich. You know that Bayern Munich, gave him the best player this season. And I think that he was even the best player in the German Bundesliga as well. His stock is really, going high up as a player. I mean, some pundits are even tipping him to, usurp Mbappe in this particular World Cup because of his performances this season. And for me, I think that I want to tilt into that angle, that Michael Olise will be that player once again to watch. And my final player will be Haaland. But Haaland will be dependent on how Norway will fare in this particular World Cup, because Norway don't have that, array of stars to probably push Erling Haaland forward. But as a player, as an individual, he's a player to watch. I don't know about you.
I think I agree with you on all the players you've mentioned.
Okay.
I'll probably add
Mm.
Harry Kane because Harry Kane has been a goal
Okay.
machine for the English, and he's continued the same thing whenever he's played for Bayern Munich. And he has also had a very great season, and I believe that he's going to carry that threat that he always poses with the English national team. So that is a player that I'll add to the list of players that you've had. I think that we might have some few young players coming in. Doué of PSG again for France.
Okay.
So
Desiree Doué.
Desiree
Yeah.
Doué, but I'm also looking out for interesting players to come through from some of the African teams, Senegal especially for them to
Mm.
come through. But just to mention the players, you did a profile. I saw your profile, and then for the
Okay.
fans or the viewers watching us, you can see that particular profile on our YouTube channel on Sportok.
Okay. On
Um,
Sportok.
we
Yeah.
yeah on Facebook we also have a Facebook page Sportok where
Mm.
we post some of these interesting contents
Yeah.
that we
So you can
discuss
share and
about.
like. You can share and
Exactly.
like.
Just
Yeah.
share and like. But when I saw that
Mm.
particular profile that you did on the players to watch,
Mm.
something struck me. And
Okay.
do you know that what was interesting to me is that there was no Messi or Ronaldo in your picks. And
simply, you know, it's obvious. You know, it's obvious. They are
no,
gradually fading for
exactly.
me.
And that is strange to me because these players have been
Mm.
on top of the world football
Exactly.
for
Sure.
more than
No
a
doubt about
decade,
that.
right? And
Yeah.
almost
Yeah.
every World Cup, it was between the two of them who was going to outshine the
Yeah.
other, right? And
Sure.
we are now talking about a World Cup, and no one is mentioning that these two players, their names, even though
Mm.
they are still part of their respective teams. So, in addition to
Yeah.
that, I'm still going to mention them just for the reason that this might be the last World Cup for both of them, both Messi
Exactly.
and Ronaldo. This might be the
Exactly.
last World Cup for both of them. I know that for Messi, he's not the quickest player he used to be previously,
Yeah.
but he's still intelligent. He can still give
Mm.
that assist through the eye of a needle. He can still
Mm-hmm.
hit the ball from a free kick and then give you a goal from there. He can still give you something different, right? He still makes
Yeah.
the Argentine team tick. And the way the
Yeah.
Argentines play is that they play to his strength. I don't know how their
Exactly.
coach have been able to master that, but
Mm.
everybody in the team,
Scaloni.
exactly, they all play to his
Mm.
strength. And so I think that he still has one more display for us, world class display for us to give before he finally bow out of international football. And
So it is fair to say that it's going to be the last dance for
I
Lionel Messi
I
and
think
Cristiano
so.
Ronaldo. But
Even though even
for
though
Cristiano Ronaldo, I don't mean to cut you, but for
yeah,
Cristiano Ronaldo, I'm even struggling to. I've been watching him
yeah,
at Al Nassr. I know he's also reducing pace
yeah,
and
exactly.
a bit of strength. It is natural because age is catching up on him.
Yep,
I'm wondering how Portugal will be using him. That is Martinez, their coach. I'm wondering how we'll be using him going forward. Whether he'll be starting and later we'll be taking him off because he's a captain,
yep.
or probably he'll be coming from the bench. I don't know. If you were to be the coach for Portugal or Martinez, how are you going to use Cristiano Ronaldo? Is it like you want to put him on the bench and later let him come in to do the damage in the last 20 minutes or so? Because age is catching up on him. It's
Yeah,
natural.
we all know that Ronaldo, similar to Messi, is not the
Mm,
same player he used to
yeah,
be some few years back.
sure.
But again, similar to Messi, he still has that golden touch. He knows, for him, his strength is that he knows how to position himself in the box. So he's going
Exactly.
to get you that tapping if you give him the service, right?
Mm,
And
yeah,
I think that watching Ronaldo and looking at how they played the qualifiers and then the last Euros and then all that, I think that gradually he has accepted his role, his new role in the national team. So I don't see him throwing tantrums when he's substituted like previously. I
Yeah.
see that he's
Yeah.
embracing that he's now more like a team player, not the star of the
Exactly.
show which the team is going to depend on. And so if I
Mm.
look at that, that actually gives Portugal some kind of a strength, right? Remember, they are coming in with one of the best midfield. There's Bruno in there,
Mm.
there's Vitinha in there, there's
Vitinha.
Neves
Yeah.
in there, right?
Sure.
These are world class midfielders. So
Mm.
probably I would say these are the best three midfielders of all the countries that are going to play in the World Cup. And so if they
Exactly.
can give him that service, if they can give him that killer ball, that's Ronaldo to finish it. So I think that
Mm.
based on that, he still has a role to play for Portugal, and I'm expecting
Mm.
him to try and then carry them. For the first time, I think Portugal are not under pressure to do well in this World Cup, and I think that might just
Okay.
be what is going to work out better for them. Because whenever Ronaldo was at the peak of his playing career, just because Ronaldo is part of the team, there was so much pressure on them to do well. And
Mm.
outside of the Euros, they often do not meet up to the expectations that people set for them. But now
But
everybody
Derek,
knows
Derek, then again, hold on there. If you're talking about pressure now, I want to understand because Messi had already won the last edition of the World Cup with
exactly.
Argentina. Don't you think that Cristiano Ronaldo will feel that okay, now is the time to do so. In as much as I'm aging, it will be a bit of a dent in my career if I don't get to win the World Cup because he's achieved virtually everything on club side. What about the national team side? He's won the Euros with Portugal, the Nations League with Portugal as well. Don't you think that he will feel hard done by if he doesn't get to win the World Cup this time around? So that will bring another pressure. And trust me, Portugal has a very good team.
Yeah, they really have a very good team. Like the midfield is solid, the back is solid, and with
Yeah.
Ronaldo and then whoever that is partnering him, it is always a team that will always pose a threat to the team that they come
Mm.
against. But I don't think that Ronaldo will be feeling the pressure. I think that the pressure was more on Messi when he had not won it, and people thought that the South America winning the Copa America was not as hard
Okay.
or difficult as winning the Euros. And so when Portugal
Mm.
won the Euros, and then Messi had not won the World Cup. So if I look at the comparison that people have been making between these two players, it was more like Messi had to win the World Cup to catch up to Ronaldo when it comes to international football, and then he did it.
Exactly.
I think that there will not be and and again that was because Argentina had won the World Cup before without Messi, and
Exactly.
Messi was always competing not just against Ronaldo but against Maradona because Maradona had won
Mm.
Argentina the World Cup. So if you are the
Yes.
talisman,
Yes.
you are being
He's
measured
laid down a
whether
marker.
exactly
Yes.
the marker had already been laid.
Mm.
So it was more
Yeah.
like, can you also lead Argentina to win the World Cup? But for Portugal, we all know that they've never won the World Cup before. So they are not like a
Mm.
mainstay when it comes to World Cup where people are expecting them to win, right? So
Mm.
that is why I don't think that there's enough pressure on them just as it was on Messi and Argentina. And so it
Okay.
will still work out well
All right.
for Ronaldo and then Portugal if they can find a
Mm.
way to
Okay.
get the best out of him.
Mm. Okay, so Derek, we have about 10, 15 minutes to go. We need to also zoom into the camp of the Black Stars a little
Yeah.
bit because we know that the Black Stars jersey, as we speak, is being the number one. But finally, on this one, tell me the final three for you who will get to the finals or three teams that you are tipping to go all the way to the final. I don't know if I should start with mine
Yeah,
because
start with
I
yours.
am looking at France. I'm looking at France for everything they were each and ever closer the last edition. The Shams will feel that then again, this will be their time, because I know Deschamps. I think this will be his last World Cup as well. He will be leaving the French national team, so he will do everything possible. They have array of stars, the likes of Olise, Mbappe, still N'Golo Kante is around, the likes of Gusto, Desiree Doué, as you mentioned. They have brilliant players. I mean, young talent as well. So for me, France is one team to watch. Then again, I'm looking at Argentina, but because they won the last World Cup, yes, this time around it's in the northern part of America. It looks as if they are almost the same domain. The weather, everything also favors them. We are talking about the weather, and
Exactly.
it doesn't really favor the Europeans. I kind of remember the last time an European team went to South America or even North America to even win the World Cup. I don't think it has really happened before, but we've seen the South Americans coming to Europe, like Brazil, to win the World Cup. So, yes, Argentina might just be that team, but probably because they are the defending champions, so they will want to at least go extra mile and challenge the rest of the chasing pack as well. They are the team to beat, as far as I'm concerned. Now, the last team I want to touch will be Portugal. Then again, I cannot say a lot and just leave their midfield. Portugal's strength has always been the midfield.
Yeah.
And even look at the back line, if Diaz is really fit, they have a very good defender in there. Nuno of PSG,
Yeah.
another brilliant left back. Bruno of that is Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes. You know that he was adjudged the best player in the English Premier League. He still has it. There is Neto. There is, one or two players that probably Portugal can say that if Martinez are putting things together and be mixing things up for them, probably I see Portugal also reaching the final. And probably maybe the dark horses might just be the English national team, all because of Tuchel. I'm only thinking that Tuchel might just be the magic wand going for it, because he's a winner. He's a proven winner. He's won the Champions League with Chelsea. He's won titles with that is PSG as well. When you go to Germany as well, he has that record also with Dortmund and all that. He's a proven winner. So I just want to be tempted to say that England might just be the dark horses outside the top four. But going forward, these will be my four teams that I am tipping to go all the way to the final. What
Yeah,
about you?
I think I agree with you. Very strong teams.
Okay.
These are, if you take Portugal and England, who Portugal have never won it.
Quite unfortunate. Quite unfortunate that I didn't add Spain. It's unfortunate I didn't
So
add
that's what
Spain,
I'm
but
going to
then
add from
it
my
is what it
side.
is.
No, it's fine. But that's what I'm going to
All
add
right.
from my side, because Spain have proven to be a
Okay.
tournament team. It used to be Germany, but
Okay.
I think the talent in Germany
Yeah.
has been drying down. I'm an Arsenal fan,
I agree.
but if
I agree.
you who is going to lead your lineup is Kai Havertz,
Mm. I have it.
then that
Mm.
is not up there, right? Kai
Mm.
Havertz is good, but you cannot
Mm.
compare him to.
He's not a world beater.
He's not a world
He's not a
beater,
world beater. Truth be
exactly.
told, yes.
Yeah,
Truth be
so
told,
so
yeah.
if you look at the German team, they don't have the talent that they used to have. They might just
Okay.
have to rely on their discipline, because they are very
Sure.
disciplined tactically, and then and
Yeah.
that might just carry them through. But I'm not sure if they can go all the way. But Spain,
Mm.
over the years have been um, proven to
Mm.
be a tournament team, in that they don't
Mm.
come with an array of stars. For example,
Okay.
this season, you might want to say Yamin Lamar
Mm.
is their main star, but he's just 19, 18, 19 years
Mm.
old, right? But
Mm.
they usually don't go to the tournament with an array of stars, but they have a way of just sneaking into the final, and then when it gets to the
Yeah.
final, then they are very difficult to beat. So I think those are the teams that I'll be looking for. In addition to that, and I'm just going to mention Waters' comment. Waters is saying Massa Ghana to semi-final, and
Yeah. Waters, Waters.
and I
Waters, we do appreciate your message. We appreciate your
we
message.
appreciate
Yeah,
it,
Waters,
and
man.
I actually agree with
Yeah.
him that one of the teams from South America, maybe the
Mm.
Caribbean, and then the African teams. So I'm looking at Ghana. I'm looking at Senegal. These two teams. I'm looking at
Okay.
one of them, maybe Morocco. I'm looking at one of them to spring a surprise and then make it
Okay.
to the semi-final, the last four. because I think that there are so many things that favors us. One, this is not in Europe, so the Europeans don't have that advantage. The weather will favor us, and then just because it is a 48 team, there might be some interesting matchups. You know, what this is going to happen is that there's going to be some self-elimination among the big boys. So you might
I love that. I
exactly.
love that self-elimination.
So your Portugal and England might actually meet before the semi-final, and
Exactly.
then one of them might go,
Sure.
and that will pave the way for any of the African teams
Other teams, yeah.
exactly that decide to put their act together. For the African teams, we know the thing that worries us when it gets to this major tournament is off-field issues. If it is not money,
Yeah.
it is something else in camp. But in terms of the football, anytime you've decided we want to play the football, we can actually make it. And you know that last World Cup, finally Morocco made it to the semi-finals. And then if I want to compare it to the time an Asian team made it to the semi-final for the first time, I don't want it to be a one-off, because after 2002, no Asian team has been able to make it to the semi-final again. I think this is the time that we can build on. So I'm expecting Morocco, Senegal, and then possibly Ghana, just because I'm a Ghanaian, to spring in some surprise and then go all the
You
way to
love
the
your country. You
semi-final.
love your country, don't you?
I
You love
do.
your country, I
do.
understand. But this is a bit of fact file, and we wrap up on that. Then we go straight into the Black Stars camp. We are just about 5-10 minutes to wrap it up, because I don't know if you are aware of this. Despite being the undisputed African champions, in fact, they've won the African Cup of Nations 7 times. I'm talking about Egypt. And it has, in fact, they have never won a game at the World Cup just before. They have never won a game at the World Cup, and that's very much interesting. What time was this in Africa? What Africa be AFCON 7 times. They are bullying the rest of African teams, but when you go to the World Cup, they flatter to deceive. That is Egypt for you. So Egypt has never won a game and the World Cup. So that's a bit of fact file in there. Their record stands that, in fact, they've had 2 draws in there, and the rest has been losses in there. And in history, the first time they went to the World Cup, but the first time they went to the World Cup was in 1934. 1934. We need Nankasa. Na Ghana for me, World Cup. But Egypt went there, the first African country to go to the World Cup. But up until now, they are still searching for their first win at the Mundial. I don't know. Do you have something to share with us?
This is the Egypt scenario. Yeah,
very quick one. Yeah,
the Egypt scenario is a case of local champions. So they are just a local champions when it gets to the international stage, and then they disappear. But some other interesting fact for you: the tallest player in the World Cup is going to be Florian Weigel of Austria. He is 6.9 foot. Shortest player: Cesar Yanis, Panama, 5.3. Oldest player. That is it. Oldest player, Craig Gordon, Scotland, 43 years old. Youngest player, Gilberto Moura.
At first, he used to be an African, Roger Miller.
Yes.
I mean, so this time around, I mean, I think that Roger Miller was around 40, 41 going into the World Cup.
Youngest player, Gilberto Moura of Mexico, 17 years. If you look at the oldest team, is going to be Colombia. They have an average age of 29.5, and the youngest team is Ecuador. Ecuador, they have an average age of 23.76. Just quick one. Tallest player in Black Stars, Jerome Opoku, 6.6. Shortest player, Christopher Bonsuba, 5.8.
Bonsuba, the winger, yes.
And then this time, oldest player is going to be Jordan Ayew, 34 years. Youngest player, Caleb Yenchi, 20 years. And then our average age for the Black Stars team is 26.8 years.
Brilliant. The last time that we went to the World Cup, we were one of the youngest teams in there. And I think that we've upped it. We're around 24 years, 24, 25 years going into the World Cup as an average age in there. But this time around, we've upped it by 26. And that is, I think they've gained the experience over the time. And that is what I would say.
For sure.
But Stadium Azteca, if you get to know, I don't know whether you have the picture there, but Stadium Azteca is going to host the first game, the opening game. And if you care to know, that opening game was once, played in the 2010 World Cup. So that is the stadium we are talking about.
Yeah.
It takes 87,523. So the stadium on your screen is what we are talking about, the Stadium Azteca in Mexico. It is going to host the opening match between Mexico and South Africa. Remember, that same game happened in 2010 when South Africa hosted the rest of the world, where South Africa, played Mexico in Johannesburg. And this time around, it is going to be in Mexico City, the stadium called Azteca Stadium, 87,523. And the time is 7 p.m. local time. Ghana time is 7 p.m. That is when the game will be played. That is in here in Ghana. So I know that tomorrow,
quick one
to be leading to the Azteca Stadium. All right.
Yes, quick one on that Azteca Stadium. You know, that is where the hand of God happened. Maradona.
Yes, Maradona.
That is that same stadium.
Exactly.
So
it carries a lot of history.
Exactly when it comes to World Cup.
Yeah.
Philip.
Yes. Share us with the Black Stars jersey. Oh, you have something to tell me.
Yeah. Yampon.
Okay, tell me.
Yampon.
Oh.
No
messages yet?
Who date and what kind?
Why are you doing this to me? And I'm fully charged. I'm fully charged.
No angle.
But I tell you, you one hour you do.
My shout out. Now yeah, out through there, uncle. My shout out.
Oh, the Sports Zone guys, I appreciate you. But let me tell you that the Ghana Black Stars JC was adjudged the #1 JC, according to the Times in United States of America, and that has been the #1. I don't know whether Derek, you have the jersey over there. I'm going to get mine before Black Stars kick their first game against Panama. You need to get yours as well. So I'm really excited. Ghana, the euphoria is building gradually.
For sure.
So I know our fans will be rallying behind the Black Stars, and I'm praying that all of you will be rallying behind the Black Stars. Come the 17th of June, 2026, where we're playing our first game against Panama. But that game is at 11 p.m. We'll be previewing that game before, so I don't want to really delve into that that much. But hey, penalties are what I share Ati Zigi. One chikumbu. Ati Zigi. We'll be zooming into that one. That goalkeeping conundrum. Who should be in the post? Who should be in the post for the Black Stars come the 17th of June? It's a big question. Is it going to be Ati Zigi or I leave the rest to you? I don't want to talk much. Benjamin Asare, according to locals, are saying that he should be the man to keep the post. Accra Hearts player. They want to promote our own as well. And we know that he's also a very good goalkeeper. But then the decision lies or rests with the coach. But I don't want to delve into that. Like I said, we'll be previewing that game before the time.
I'm sure it's going to be
the final words, then we're out of.
I'm sure it's going to be Ati. But thank you to all our fans. Our YouTube page is Sportok. Same for Facebook page. Please subscribe and then watch this particular live show. We are going to put it on YouTube. So if you miss it, we are going to be able to catch it live on YouTube. So until the next episode.
Hasta la vista. Hasta la vista. The montage. Give it to me. Give me the montage.